What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's webinar. What I'll be going over this week is I wanted to touch on a few things before we actually get started with the webinar. If you're a beginner or you're an advanced trader or whatever you are, if you are getting teachings from someone online or wherever, make sure there are professional traders. One way you can find that out, ask them certain questions like, how much are you actually trading in your account? Are you managing accounts for someone else, et cetera, and, get proof of that. I will gladly show you my live account. I would say, professional traders, we trade between, 100,000 and above. So, get that, confirmation from them before you buy any courses, before you do anything. And like I said, if you're a beginner, as most people are, they're interested in Forex, you have to know whether it is for you, okay? If you don't have time to put in to actually learn, forget about it, all right? Because it's going to take you time to become an independent trader as far as a consistent trader and making consistent profit in the market. Because if you're not making consistent profit, then why are you trading at that point? So let's get over to the charts. All right, what we have now, we have the dollar index. I'll go over the indexes before I go over the majors. It's very important to me to go over, what type of direction we're experiencing on the short term or long term on these currency indexes in general. So, we can make a better assumption once we, touch on the Euro USD, we touch on the pound dollar, the Euro yen, the dollar yen, et cetera, et cetera. But more or less, I like to look at the indexes. So what we have here is we have the dollar index. And if I put the dollar index on the day chart, what we have here is basically we're running flat to the upside. These patterns could stay within structure until we see the actual break. So, make sure you guys are monitoring structure accordingly, especially if you guys are you are in positions, in this type of structure. So, you more or less know when to take profit, put your break even, whatever the case may be. But, you're on the defensive end as well. So what we're looking at here on the dollar index, as you can see, we were here, I think, last week. We had a little bit more upside, but it looks like we wanted to go into a correction. So we are currently in a correction at the moment. It hasn't developed yet fully. If we break it down to the 4-hour chart, what we can see is, more structure as far as how big is this correction going to be, if it is a correction or a reversal for a continuation down. All right, so more or less what we're looking at now is this 4-hour flag that we are currently in. What I'm looking for the market to break down at this point. Let's see what type of structure it gives us here and overall. Okay, whether we get the move up, which will complete this running flat structure, giving us, reasons to sell at this point as far as, this correction here, as well as you see this correction here, because same thing could happen at this point. Okay, so keep that in mind. But what I'm looking for is a movement down on the short term, but eventually I think we will be going up on the dollar index to break these highs. Okay, and that would put currencies as the euro dollar making down moves, and as well as the pound dollar moving down as well with this particular movement happening. So take that in consideration. Let's move to the euro index. The euro index is basically in a rough spot. We're at the lows. Should we buy yet? Should we not? That's the real question. As we are basically breaking out of this bearish correction here, we could have two scenarios happen. Actually, three scenarios happen on the euro index. we could make a bigger three-wave correction as far as this being the first wave, this being the second wave, but we do not have a break of this low yet. Okay, so we could possibly get a move up here. This movement up could be the test of this zone. Okay, so we would have 1, 2, 3. Once we get to this area, we would identify structure. Okay, if we get a bullish flag type of correction, then you know it would be a good possibility that we are heading up, as far as, you know, breaking this zone and heading up a little bit farther. But if we don't get the break within this zone, we will head down for the continuation, completing the running flat type of structure, giving us another low. That's where, you know, I will be very interested in looking for buying positions, okay, for the continuation up, making a bigger correction from this huge down move that we experienced. Okay, so let's go to pound dollar. Pound dollar has completed a running flat type of structure to the downside. Now what we're looking at is whether the market decides to go up or it decides to go down from here. Now, considering, you know, the dollar index, what we have on the dollar index as far as what will happen next week, I think we will have a little bit more upside on the pound dollar, but I don't think we will break this levels here. So if we get a little more movement up, if you have in buying positions, make sure you manage them accordingly, because we could be heading down to break these lows, finishing this running flat type of structure. Then at this point, we would be looking for reasons to buy. Okay, let's go to the Japanese index. Considering the structure that we're in on a long term on the Japanese index, what I'm looking for is downside. We have this move here, and we are currently inside of this correction on a long term. Now, considering we have the break here with this movement here, this possibly being the pullback here within this confluence zone here, we could be continuing down at this point to actually break this low. So, you know, if you're looking at the dollar yen, the euro yen, the pound yen, you know, we could have some upside this week and this month on those pairs. So make sure you guys are managing structure and identifying what you have to identify before, you know, entering these trades. Let's go to oil. All right, oil, we got the movement up on oil. We took our positions off. We got in at this point. We've seen the break here as far as this reversal pattern. We're looking for the continuation. We got the continuation. Now we're looking for a correction again for re-entry. So more or less, we have a break of these highs within this structure. Now, you know, as you can see, we have pullbacks here, pullbacks here, pullbacks here. That's what the market does. We're looking for a pullback here for another continuation up. So if you guys got any ambitions on buying oil, make sure you guys wait for the correction to happen. Wait for a reason to buy at these important zones within the structure. All right. Euro USD. All right, Euro USD is more or less identical to the actual Euro index. What we have here, we're in the same type of situation. We could have a move up here, which would give us the completion of the third wave, as we do not have a break of this low with this down move. Testing this area, giving us a bigger three-wave correction, then we could continue down, making another lower low within this larger downtrend. That would give us reasons to buy, okay? That would give us reasons to buy. Or we could get a move down from here, breaking these lows, then we would really look for a reason to buy for, you know, a pullback. But more or less what structure we're in now on a short term, what could happen is we could have a movement up from here. but it doesn't mean that we're going to head all the way up. Considering the downtrend that we're making within this leg, you would have to see a break, and that would be a change in structure. But more or less, we could get a move up from here and reverse in this zone, considering the downtrend we're making within this leg, giving us that, the break of this low. Then we would be looking for reasons to buy. Pound dollar. Pound dollar, identical to the pound index. I think we'll be heading down, breaking this low, completing this structure. Then, once it gets to this point, we will look for reasons to buy. But if we get a movement down here, breaking this low, you have to remember the market does never move in a straight line. We will have structure made here, whether it be in this manner, or it could give us, an impulse down. It could give us a small bearish flag, then could fall down. We would see. We'll monitor structure, but more or less, I'm looking for the sell to break this low. But, it's too early to tell. Let's have some more structure made on the 4 hour to, draw a conclusion and, find out the actual, long-term direction as far as the next, month or 2 months. Euro yen. All right, considering that we are in a continuation situation on the Japanese yen to the downside, I believe we will have more upside on the euro yen. As you can see, we're currently in a correction at the moment. What could we see? We could see a movement up. Then I think we will come into a bigger correction, make some more structure here for the bigger move up, which will test this area here. Okay. So look for upside on euro yen, but be very careful because we are at these highs at the moment. I would wait for a correction before I look for any bond situations, but make sure you have a strategy to trade that as well. Dollar yen, I'm bullish on dollar yen considering the long-term structure that we are in. We have the impulse, we have the correction. Now we need the third wave within this correction. Okay. So we got the move here. We got the correction. I'm looking for the move here. Okay. That will complete this 3-wave correction. Boom. Then we'll be looking for the sell down as far as this being the correction here. Okay. Dollar Canadian dollar. Dollar Canadian dollar is quite obvious. We are currently in a day chart uptrend. So you see these levels that we have made in the market. We can use those as reference. So more or less what I'm looking for, the dollar CAD, is to travel all the way up here. Like I said, the market's not going to move in a straight line. It's going to give you structure. I'm just telling you the direction. All right. So once we break this high, that will be a completion of this continuation. We have the 1, 2, 3. We have the 3 waves that finished, that developed. Then this would be the continuation leg up. Okay. Confirmation would be a break of this zone. All right. So let's see. But on a short term, what we can look for, let's put this on the 4-hour chart. What we could look for on the short term on the 4-hour chart would be a break of this low. Okay. Boom. A break of this low would give us reasons to buy. We would look for reasons to buy at this point. We will get the movement back up here to test this level. If we don't get the break, put it at break even. It comes back down. It takes you out. So what? We're looking, as soon as it breaks the low again, we're looking for reasons to buy again above this zone. Okay. Because we will have the continuation soon. All right. The market will break out of this correction to the upside. So that's what we're looking for on dollar CAD. And that's it for this week. If you guys got any, if you need any information about the Academy, how to get in, I'll send you guys information. Hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. The information is in the description. And, more or less we can get the ball rolling for you. And if you have any questions about what I went over, leave them in the comments section. I will get back to you on that. Okay. You guys have a great week of trading. Good luck. And